Hey, lovely humans. Happy Monday. It's Monday right now. I'm so confused of the days. It's like over Christmas and New Year. It's always a little confusing as to what day it is. I wanted to come on and do a little talk today. Yeah. I have been really going back to basics with my teaching, with my learning, back to the Hermetic principles, back to our minds, back to as above, so below, as within, so without. And I want to talk about the power of our self-concept today, how important our self-concept is. And so this is the as above, so below, as within, so without. You know, one of the major laws of the universe, the law of correspondence. It's the law of assumption. It's what we assume, what we feel about ourselves, we create around us. And I know a lot of people have a really hard time following this one because we so quickly we want to victimize ourselves by blaming other people for what's going on within us, for triggering us, for doing things to us, when at some point we've manifested this into our life. This is the beauty. This is where your power really comes in. When you can tune into your mind and start to really notice those limiting beliefs that come through. We have so many limiting beliefs in our system. We think over 70,000 thoughts a day. And honestly, how many of those are you conscious of? Probably the big thoughts, excitement, or the opposite of that, the non-excitement thoughts, like the sadness or the triggers or not feeling good enough. When we realize when these thoughts come up, the thoughts that are, maybe self-defeating or that are just, those take us in those cycles, those negative thinking cycles, we can rewrite those in our mind. And as we do that, we will start to shift people around us. We will start to shift our external 3D. Creation starts in the 4D, which is our mind, which is our third eye, which is our imagination. When we get all these energies right together and we just assume that we already are where we want to be, this is quantum jumping. This is timeline jumping. Let go of the garbage you've been carrying through your life. And that is easier said than done sometimes. And I totally get that. But what we need to do is we need to persist in these assumptions, just to continue doing them. Continue understanding that you are the power. You are the power. You create everything going on around you, everything going on within you. When we live in our limbic brain, and our amygdala, our fight or flight, when we live through trauma, we're constantly highly electrically charged. And so what we're doing is we're not consciously creating, we're subconsciously creating based on things that have happened in the past that have created those belief systems. So this is where the inner child healing comes in, where we really need to release those trauma knots. I call them knots in our energetic system or our nervous system, release them to allow energy flow through. I pair this type of thing with energy work. So when we work with our mind and we work with our energy body and we pair them together, that's where the power comes in, because we learn to be in that flow state. We learn to, instead of questioning things going on in our 3D or other people, we question ourselves. We rewrite those beliefs. Like if somebody's around you, like a family member, and they say something not nice to you, do you start thinking, oh, what did I do to do this? Blah, 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 blah. Why do I deserve this? And do you victimize yourself, or do you sit there and go, where in my life has this limiting belief that I've had that this person thinks this way about me welcomed this in? And you go and rewrite it. And I'm not kidding you. When you really get good at this and you do it all the time and you persist in these new beliefs, you rewrite that subconscious, that super conscious, and then things will shift so quickly. I've seen things shift within hours, where if something comes in and I'm like, okay, instead of victimizing myself and being like, oh my gosh, that sucks, I'm so sad this person did this to me, I go, okay, I am awesome. I am in control of this. Through my surrender, through my rewriting of my thought patterns and my beliefs, and people will shift. It's so magical this is how magic works. Because when those who practice magic, I have no judgment. Everybody does what's good for them. People who practice magic, it's beautiful because they believe in the intention of the spell they're setting. And that's what this is. You're believing these thoughts, and it might feel crazy at first because they aren't reflected in your 3D and your physicality around you. But as you persist in them, they will begin to come into fruition. They will begin to come into form around you, and you will see it. And it's so freaking cool when it comes. I've been playing with this for the last few months really, really deeply. I've always believed that everything is a mirror for a reality. Instead of victimizing myself that I did for years, I was a victim of everybody else, of the abuse I lived through, of, my own self-deprecating thoughts. I could not get out of my own way because good things would happen to me, and I'd be like, oh, well, what's gonna go wrong now? And I feel that's a belief that a lot of people carry. What I'm gonna say is get the F out of your own way. The only person stopping you from the highest timeline is you. And how do we get into that highest timeline? How do we live in the end? How do we create and pull in that energy? By assuming and knowing it's already there. This is pure magic, people. This is how we do it. And that takes a lot of work. It's not about how we feel. It's about what we say to ourselves. It's about what we believe. Feelings are, energies. They are, triggers. They're all these feelings that come through. It's our beliefs that shape our feelings. So you can feel things till you're, all over feeling it, but it's, do you believe what you're feeling? You can tell yourself, oh, I'm a millionaire, I'm this and that. But if, you're seeing it not reflected in your 3D and your mind's like, nope, you're not going to manifest that. You're not going to step into that. One of the big ones that I'm going to get you to work with over the next little bit is to just, a lot of us, we're on this healing journey, and I want you to know that you are whole and complete. Ultimately, we all have things we need to release and work through, but ultimately live in the end that you're this fully healed being, that you're perfect, you're your soul essence. Because if we're always saying we're on this healing journey, healing, there's always something to be healed from. Let's just step into our power and be like, man, I got this. I am great. And if we have a hiccup, we just dust ourselves off and we're like, I am that wild woman in the end that does not give an F, does not give a fuck, that just is there, that is knowing that I have all of this in front of me. I know that this is me, my divinity. This is what divinity is. It's being at that end point, working in that God essence, knowing that you are the creator of your world. You are. And I just wanted to come on and remind you of that because we forget that when we get triggered. We forget that when somebody else maybe disempowers us, when somebody says you're crazy. The reason somebody else says you're crazy is because you had that thought at some point that what you're feeling is crazy, and they've mirrored that back to you. Everything is a mirror. And I want you to walk through your next few days realizing that, even if it feels difficult, and then rewriting those beliefs. That self-concept is a big one to rewrite. But if you persist in it, if you believe, you will become. You already are. And that's the magic. That's the magic in these energies right now, especially. We can manifest like that. I was out grocery shopping, doing some stuff, and I always have beautiful synchronicities and miracles come up, whether it's just, finding the parking spot, not having to wait in line, just little things. And it's like, you're living in that endpoint when you're like this boss. You're this boss of your life, and you just know things are coming. You feel it and you believe it. You believe. It's not, like I said, it's not the feeling, it's the believing. It's the assumption that you're already there. So where in your life, I'm asking this, I want you to ask yourself, where in your life do you struggle? Maybe you're really great in your career, but really poor in your love life. Maybe you're really great in some area, like you're very fit, but you have a hard time with your children. Ask yourself where these difficulties come up in your life. And then next time something comes to your 3D reality mirrored to you, look inside and check in what you're thinking. What is your subconscious running in those moments? Is it a belief that your voice isn't worthy, or nobody believes you, nobody listens to you, nobody trusts you? Those things are all mirrored to you on a daily basis by everybody. Start telling yourself you are beautiful, you are wonderful, you are. And it's not just about the affirmations, it's about persisting in them and rewriting that, because the more you do it, it becomes the dominant thought form. The dominant thought form that goes on in our mind will always be what's mirrored back to us. So everything around you is based on the dominant thought form. Check that, check that. I'll just give you a little hint, a little story of mine. So one of my big dominant thought forms was that I was always in trouble, because I was always in trouble as a kid. And then I get in trouble at work over stupid shit. And it was like always, and I'm like, oh, I'm always in trouble. And then I started rewriting things, and I'm like, no, I'm like, people love me. People trust me. People, if I screw up, people always forgive me. If I do this, people always come to me. I'm magnetic, I'm beautiful, I'm loved. And I'm not kidding you, within a week, it started to. And we have to continue persist in it, even if it starts showing up, because if we don't, we'll just go back. We'll go back to where we were. I want to thank everybody who joined the healing circle last night. It was awesome. The new moon in Capricorn, it's all about setting these intentions. For those of you who know me and have worked with me before, I share pretty much everything on my platforms. I believe, well, this energy, this wisdom is for all of us to get. I started these communities, my YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram, to share, because when I was learning, it was very difficult to find information that really resonated with me, because there's a ton of information out there, and to each their own. A lot of it doesn't work for me because I find it's like very untangible. It's like very up here, and it's not grounded into our reality. So this is why I do what I do, and I want to share it all with you, and I want to guide you through this process, through this journey that you're in. And I'm shifting my teaching a little bit. I'm going back into courses. We're doing courses. This Sunday, we start the 555 Portal Shifting Consciousness. This is a great course if you're really learning, if you're really working to up your consciousness, because higher consciousness is just awareness. It's understanding, seeing things from a bird's eye view, and pulling yourself out of your emotions, pulling yourself out and taking a step back. And I go through balancing the spiritual side of things and the more metaphysical side of things, like the more tangible side of things. And just, yeah, because I have a science background. I need like tangibility with a lot of stuff. I love the spiritual realm. I work in it a lot because I'm a healer. But I like to ground things into the physical 3D, because that's what we need to do. We need to ground our energies and understand. So if you're interested in joining that, it's 8 weeks. It's awesome. It's deep dive. Every week is recorded over Zoom. It's live. We join each other over Zoom. And then I record it in case you can't make a week. We go through, I have PDF information I send out after, and we do a healing / meditation almost every week with every topic. And it just teaches you ways to really understand and work through, you know, we start with shadow work, we get into alignment, the masculine, the feminine, and it goes on and on and on for 8 weeks. It's awesome. And then all the way to divinity. And this is like, I wrote it, it's like the Cole's notes on how my journey went. We learn intuition, how to tap into it, how to understand it, how to discern the ego. So if you're interested in joining that, comment below, shoot me a message. I'll send you the information. It's going to be awesome. I love teaching. If you're wanting, you know, to get a hold of more of my information, like and subscribe my YouTube. I can send the link for that too. At the top of the group, I have a Linktree link that has all the information in there, all the links for everything. So please like, share, and subscribe my videos. It helps get me out there more. But yeah, I just like to give this information. I feel this is like, it's divinity. We are all privy to this information. And if I resonate with you, that's so amazing. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And I want to teach you. If you feel you need more one-on-one, I do private coaching, ascension coaching, guidance. I am a healer as well. I heal in many different modalities. I've sort of taken them all together and created my own. I do it over Zoom, and just, yeah, I always hold groups. We always have group healing circles. So those are fun too. I love channeling for the collective. I love channeling light language. So yeah, thanks for being here. I'm going to repost this, and I'll post this on YouTube as well. So I just wanted to come on and say thank you for being a part of this and share that. Work on that self-concept. Be that boss in your life, you know, whether you're male or female, whatever you're trying to do, it all comes down to your self-concept. How do you feel about yourself? Do you feel worthy of love? Do you feel worthy of success? Do you feel worthy of abundance? And I will leave you with that. If you're just joining now, go back and watch this from the beginning. It was fire. But I'm going to go cook some supper for my children and enjoy my evening. I love you.